If you focus on yourself and you put in the work and you get there and present and you're proud of everything that you did, no one can take that away from you. Jaclyn Baker here, Miss Fitness International and 8-time fitness Olympian. Placing second at last year's Olympia lit my fire even more to continue on with my career. I felt like when I came off stage with second, as proud as I was of myself, I still felt like I hadn't finished and I hadn't reached my full potential. So it made me even more determined to come back this year and really go for that title again. So since last Olympia to this Olympia, I took some time, traveled, and then I got right into my prep for Arnold. So I competed at Arnold and won that one. So now I carry that title of Miss Fitness International, which then I'd like to get the title of Miss Olympia in All In 2025. So just been honing in on my training, keeping my physique in, a good amount of improvement season shape, staying focused on staying injury-free, recovery. I've been really focusing on adding a lot of recovery to my daily routine. So I do evening ice baths and sauna. I do body work twice a week. Just all kinds of recovery, focusing on my sleep, focusing on my hormone health, stress management, mental health, all of that. I find that this may be unusual, but I don't have a lot of self-doubt. I think I put in all the work and I get on stage and that's all I can do. I think I've always had that mentality that if I put in the work and I leave it to the hands of the judges, that's as much as I can do personally. And I also think I'm very robotic in the sense that whatever my coach tells me the plan is, I follow it to a T. So at that point, it's kind of, all I can do is do the work and the plan is set. And I think that decreases my anxiety for getting on stage. I never get on stage and think, have I done all I could do? I know I've done all I can do. So when I step on stage, I kind of am like, take it or leave it. It's subjective. It's a subjective sport when it comes down to it. So I'm at the mercy of 7 to 9 judges and their opinion of my physique and opinion of my routine. So the self-doubt I don't really have, which I think as I've spoken to other people, it's a little bit unusual. Anxiety, definitely. Anxiety in other ways. I definitely have a lot of ruminating thoughts where I, wonder if I should be doing something different or where I'm at in my career. I'm 41, so I kind of think, is this the end? Have I done all I want to do? When is the end? Kind of just all those kind of thoughts. I do know in my gut that I have not done all I want to do in this sport. And I do feel like I have the potential to be Miss Olympia, so we're gonna keep going. I also just manage anxiety with the normal things like therapy and, I write down goals. I have rituals that kind of calm me down. I've done a lot of cognitive behavioral therapy over the years to learn tools to calm me down in social situations or competition or, just mindset. As I've gotten older and wiser in the sport, I've been able to be much calmer in a prep and fighting with anxiety and OCD and realizing that that's a positive. I think in the past those would have been personal battles because I would have been so anxious of things going as the plan and so I think my personal battles are a lot in the past. I think this particular year it was very hard because I had a lot of transitions and I transferred to a new coach and I go out to Phoenix now to train, so I think just like a very transitional period. And to be completely honest, a lot of that is, did you make the right decision? It's trusting someone else, and that towards the end of my career. So I think the biggest battle for me was making that switch. And it's like, did I regret making the switch? Should I have made the switch? I know this was better for me. I know this was better for me. Like, just the pros and cons of doing that was a huge switch for me. So I think mentally that was a battle. I would say stay true to yourself. I think in this sport it's very hard and it's very easy to conform or try to be a people pleaser, or I think you have to dig deep down and know what your goals are, what your morals are, what you want to represent, what you want your reputation to be, and do the work. There's no one who can do the work for you. You've got to put your head down, grind. I would say I think that's what has been one of the things that I've thrived with, is that I am able to put blinders on, do the work, and not be focused on anyone else. You know, you can't compare yourself to other competitors, you can't compare yourself to other physiques, you don't know what they're doing, what their regimen is, what their genetics are. You know, you just know two people are the same. So if you focus on yourself and you put in the work and you kind of keep like blinders on, and then you get there and present and you're proud of everything that you did, no one can take that away from you. The legacy I believe I want to leave for the fitness division is that I didn't conform to what the fitness division, what everyone perceived the fitness division as far as my routines. I brought in a dance element, and my routines have always been a little bit different from everyone else's, but that being said, I still was meeting the criteria of what the judges wanted and what the requirements are for our routine. And I think my legacy, I would want to be that I represented myself with, you know, character, class, hard work. I would want people to remember my routines and that I made them feel the passion that I have when I'm on stage. I grew up a very, very competitive dancer, so moving into bodybuilding, I already had that competitive mindset. And I don't know if it's just me personally, my makeup, but as a kid, I always did the work. I was always very, very hard on myself, but my mom tells this story of if I left ballet class and the teacher didn't correct me, I was mad. Like, I always wanted to improve, and I didn't think they were picking on me. I wanted them to pick on me, so to speak, and make me better. So I don't think I've been someone who lacks confidence in myself and my work. And I've been on stage since I was 2 years old. So for me, that's more like I'm at home on stage. I love it. Obviously, I get nerves like everyone else, but I enjoy being up there. I get a huge adrenaline rush from the crowd and the faces, and I can see everyone in the audience. So yeah, I kind of think self-confidence has always been a strong point of mine. So this year for Olympia, we're trying to bring my best package as every year. We've kind of fought year after year with being too conditioned and too stringy, so to speak, being too full and giving me a little more shape. I do, for my physique, have a very, very fine line between the two, and I think we've struggled finding that line over the years. So this year we're going for conditioning with shape. It's gonna be tricky. Hopefully we nail it. I have confidence that we're gonna nail it. Just learning my physique over the years and, you know, learning more about my physique and my coach learning my physique. I think that this year we'll hit it on the head. My routine, we're trying to bring something different. We always try to find something that I'm super passionate about. When I do my routines and we choreograph them, I have someone who choreographs them for me, but we work together, and I just know in my heart when I'm doing it, if it's it. And what I mean by that is that I'm gonna enjoy it on stage, and I think that will resonate with the audience and the judges. If I don't feel it, I don't wanna get on stage with that routine. We've changed music 3 weeks out from stage because the music, I just didn't feel it. And I feel like if I'm on stage and I don't feel that passion in my heart, it won't come across to the audience. And to me, I want the audience to kind of like lean forward in their seats when they're watching me. I want them to feel what I feel when I'm on stage. So I always try to bring that to the Olympia stage. I'm gonna try to do that again. I think I've accomplished it year after year. So I don't think this year will be any different. Although perfection isn't a thing, you can continue to strive for that. I think growing up with OCD, people always made that a negative. To me, it has made me thrive in life and thrive in bodybuilding. I am on time for everything. I am very organized. I know where everything is. It has made me very regimented with my schedule. I thrive on schedule. I enjoy it. I enjoy routine. So again, I would say staying true to yourself, but also finding that discipline and realizing that for me, discipline as a kid that I had from my ballet training and just from my personality would make me thrive as an adult. And it wasn't that I was rigid or, you know, didn't want to break my routine as a negative. It was actually something that would become a positive.